What is going on, pro wrestling fans? Whether you are a smart mark, a casual, or whatever kind of pro wrestling fan, you are welcome here. This is Squared Circle Speak, and this is our speak on the week of WWE. This was the first week of September that we're talking about. So we got a lot to go through. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is my co-host, the Vig Valboski, Nathan.
All right. Well, hello, Smart Mark.
I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know where that came from. All right. So we have a lot of people re-signing contracts that we will get to later. But first, as always, we're going to start with Monday Night Raw.
Yes,
This was the
Ryan.
first show of Joe Testator.
Yeah, they started it off a little different this week.
Yeah.
We
It was,
had Wade Barrett in the ring announcing like basically what was going to happen, and everything just felt different.
yeah. And I will admit, because we've had some people from the sporting world do Monday Night Raw before, right? Um, and with varying degrees of success.
Mm-hmm.
I think Joe Testator did an amazing job. He had a few flubs where he didn't know the names of some of the moves and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but that's going to come in time. But as far as just being the lead announcer and running the show and getting everything across, I think he did a phenomenal job first day on.
Well, yes, I think he did a pretty good job. The only thing he's got to work on, I mean, the obvious stuff, the movie, but and knowing the wrestlers' backstories and all that stuff. But the main thing that he needs to work on, Ryan, in my opinion, is he needs to work on his tone of voice.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He sometimes is too silent.
Yeah, he talks too low, and then the sometimes the moment feels a little bigger than the way he's talking. So he's got to work on.
But again, I don't hate that because it just makes it feel more like, I don't hate that he's silent sometimes. Because you don't want your announcer being over the top all the time.
No, not over the top, but sometimes he's talking like too low. Like he'll be like, "And a DDT just happened," and you're like,
Yeah.
"What was that?"
Well, that's that, play-by-play sports thing he's got because he does football, and sometimes football, they're just like, and there's a first down. So,
Right.
uh, but yeah, that was a cool start to the show. We Denver, Colorado. They had Joe and Wade introducing everything, and then Rhea Ripley and Damian came out and talked about Bash and Berlin and that they beat Liv and Dominic, and so Rhea says, I think it's time I get back my title. Dominic come out and says, Liv's not here. Blah blah blah. Um, you know, Rhea says, I'll face her anytime, any place. Dominic says, anytime, any place. Liv tries to sneak up from behind, and then Ripley hits her with the back elbow. And then Damian Priest also gets rid of Dominic. So good will start. First match was American Made versus the Alpha Academy in a 6-person mixed tag team match. I tell you what, Maxine is getting better. She is every time I think she gets in the ring, she looks better. She did a good drop kick in this match. She did some good stuff. This was a pretty decent 6-person tag with American Made getting the win. And then afterwards, Chad Gable gets on the mic, starts gloating, says that the Wyatt Six suck. Uncle Howdy, he said Uncle Howdy ruined it. And he says, next week, we're going to challenge the Wyatt Six to an 8-man tag team street fight. So we're not done with this Wyatt Six American Made thing. So interesting. I kind of figured it was over, but I guess we're still going. Throughout the show, Priest wants his revenge on Finn, but Priest says that Finn won't fight him, or Adam Pearce told Priest that Finn won't fight him unless it's in a tag team match. And so Priest has been going around saying, I don't have any friends, but then Rhea says, I have someone in mind. And so that got the crowd all excited. Then we had Shayna Baszler take on Zelina Vega. Vega making her return after Shayna like destroyed her a couple weeks ago. A couple of hope spots here for Vega. Some pretty decent stuff. She had some good moments, but yeah. Shayna gets the win with a running knee. And then they start beating her up. Lyra comes into the ring, but they beat her up as well. And DeVille grabs the mic and says, there's not a man in the world that can take us home, nor is there a woman that can take them out.
Yeah, that was an interesting line.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. But so Shayna, you know, so she re-signed with the company. We'll go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah.
She's 40, ain't she?
40 something. Yeah, and she signed a multi-year deal.
Yeah, that's surprising. I mean, she doesn't her style that she wrestles,
Yeah.
she doesn't do she don't definitely don't hurt herself. You know, she don't go falls to the wall.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's helping her and giving her a longer prolonged career here. Uh I hope they do something else with her though, because she's better than just being in a tag team.
Yeah, hopefully with this her resigning, maybe they'll give her a little bit of a push.
I know you hate more belts, Ryan, but they need a women's mid card title
I
on
feel like you
the
mention this every week.
well for people like her, you know.
Every week it's either the men need another title or the women need another title.
I'm just saying, there's just too many people. All right, anyway, yeah. So this group, you know, has got a little momentum, I guess.
Well, they do, but then they lose. It's like they lost last week, so
Yeah, so I don't really know where they're going with it.
yeah, I don't know. We had a good CM Punk Drew segment here. CM Punk came out, was all happy, and said now he's focusing on Gunther. He says he is going to take the title off of Gunther, and he wants that. He's standing on the announce table just celebrating when Drew McIntyre yanks him off, and McIntyre just destroys him, hits him with a Claymore, throws him back in the ring, hits him with another Claymore, and he is just destroying him. He takes Punk's bracelet and like shatters it, and then like shoves the bracelet like in Punk's mouth.
And then gives him a claymore with the pieces went flying.
Yeah, and then Punk was bleeding from the mouth. He got loaded up into a stretcher, and he just continued to beat him up. And then later on in the show, he was getting loaded into an ambulance, and then he attacked him again.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn. So yeah, if there's any way to set up a Hell in a Cell, it's this. I mean, that's a you're going. They like you said, this has got to be the main event of Bad Blood.
I mean, it's got to be. I can't imagine it not being, but you never know. It depends on what's going on over there on SmackDown with the WWE title. So
yeah,
which we'll get to later. Then we had Dominic, Ilya, and Dragon Lee in a number one contenders. This was the another triple threat number one contenders intercontinental title thing. Ilya Dragunov gets the win after pinning Lee. And then Dragunov and Lee shook hands afterwards. Dominic got chased off in this match by Damien. So
right.
he ran away. So then it was down to Ilya and Dragon Lee, and those two are never going to disappoint when they have a little bit of time with each other. This was a great match. Ilya got the win. So Ilya moves on to the number one contenders fatal four-way.
Who do you think's going to win this thing, Ryan?
Strowman, Strowman won another match. This Sheamus, Strowman, and Ludwig Kaiser. Strowman wins. I think it could be Strowman until they do Braun Strowman versus Braun Breaker.
That'd be a interesting fact.
Either that or because could be Ilya. Ilya and Braun could be fun. Pete Dunne and Braun might be decent. But I think I'm gonna go with Braun Strowman. Braun and Braun.
All right.
The Unholy Union beat Damage Control in the number one contenders tag team match, so they will get their rematch against Belair and Jade. We're just gonna run that back again, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Gunther came out. And then Sami Zayn interrupted. I don't. So basically, he said that Sami Zayn said, I'm the only one that's beaten you since you've been here. I took the Intercontinental title off of you. Now I want to take the world title. I want the world title. And Sammy, and then Gunther says, no. So, and then Sammy said, I'm coming for you anyway. So I guess it makes sense to let Gunther get his win back. But I don't want to see this again. I wasn't really feeling this Gunther Sami Zayn.
Me either.
Other thing, the main event was Damian Priest and Jey Uso versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Jey Uso was the partner that Rhea got for Damian, obviously, because Jey Uso has the hots for Rhea. Your basic WWE main event tag team match here. As Priest and Uso beat the tag team champions. So, wow. WWE's continuing of the tag team division being a mess has continued here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. They really make them look like chumps.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, they haven't even defended the titles in a long time, and now they lose, and they lose to a non-tag team.
Yeah.
I don't want to say. I don't know. Are we going to see Damian and Jay as a tag team? That'd be stupid.
It would be. It's just another case of, like I said, they need more belts for the mid card because Jey Uso is a guy that, they drafted him number one on Raw. So they feel like they gotta do something with him. So yeah, I could totally see him winning the tag team titles here with Priest. And it's just like it'll feel like a big deal just because Priest was the world champion. So it'll feel like he's back. He's still, in a main event thing. But at the same time, really, he's backtracking to the tag team title.
Yeah.
So I think they just need to get the belts away from this storyline.
Yeah, they need someone to beat them, and then that way the tag teams can have their own thing going, and Damian and Ben can have their story. All right, so on to NXT. We've only got like a month of show, I think 3 weeks left here, or something like that, of being on USA, and then they're moving to the big CW. Show cuts opened up with Trick Williams and Ethan Page. Well, actually, Trick Williams called out Pete Dunne, but Ethan Page came out and said he's the champion. He's going to be defending that title on CW October 1st. After he says that, Pete Dunne attacks him, and they just beating the hell out of each other throughout the whole arena. Says they are wrestling later tonight. The first match of the show was the Rascals versus Gallus versus Hank and Tank in a number one contenders match for the tag team titles.
This is a good match.
This was very fun. The Rascals were great. Hank and Tank looked good in this match too. And then the Gallus were also really good. Did not expect the Rascals to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, they're on a roll.
Yeah.
Because what's his name?
Huh?
What's the guy's name that's the Texas Division champion from the Rascals?
Zachary Wentz.
Wentz. I couldn't think of his last name. So Wentz, he wins the X Division title, wins against West at the PLE, and now he's getting a tag team title shot on NXT TV.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is ended with Javon Evans coming out and taking out Joe Coffey, and then the Good Brothers attacked Hank and Tank, and then the Rascals hit a flying Meteora and a Swanton Bomb. After this match, Axe and Nathan Frazier were interviewed, and they said, "Hey, look, we won. We got the titles back." Rascals joined the conversation and say, "Look, this is a match people want to see." And Zach says, we're going to be taking those titles to TNA, and we are on the same page. Can Fraser and Axiom say they're on the same page? So could we see the Rascals win these titles.
I hope not, because not that I don't want to see them have them or anything like that. It's just if they do, that'd be the third title change for these tag team titles in as many defenses.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't. I'm all for I don't need 6 to 8 month reigns or year long reigns with these belts, but I don't want to see them pass down every title defense.
Yeah.
So
They really needed.
that's why I hope not. I hope Wesley interferes and costs them these tag team titles, and then maybe him and Wentz have an X Division title match in TNA.
Yeah. All right. So then we had Lexis King taking on Oro Mensah. Decent little match here. King wins using the bottom rope for leverage as he pinned Mensah. After the match, he ran away from Mensah.
Well, he said some crazy shit
Yeah.
during the match.
Yeah, he was talking about his dad or something, right? Or his brother or something?
Yeah, talking about his dad burning alive or something.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. I don't know what that was about.
That was fucking nuts. I mean, Jesus. NXT, man, they're doing some shit because Oba Fibby walked into the locker room after this, into the family's locker room, and then Adriano Rizzo, I got his face, and he says, as the saying goes in some countries, it's better for women to be seen than heard. Wow. we're just going all out over here on NXT, man.
Yeah.
Tatum Paxley took on Rosemary.
Not a great one.
No, Rosemary's is getting up there in age. She's not a spring chicken anymore, and Tatum Paxley is okay. She does decent. This was not great. Tatum Paxley gets the win with a like a spear or like a whipping hen thing, a weird thing. She gets the win after the match. Wendy Chu gets in the ring. Rosemary spears her. They're ganging up on her, but then Lyra Valkyria returns and makes the save, and her and Paxley get a embrace in the ring. This was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not keen on all this stuff, but it's interesting. Yeah, her move is the best way to describe it is like a cartwheel cradle.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing. Very weird move.
Yeah.
But it's
unique.
It was good. I thought it was a good move. So never seen it before. I would just said out loud. I was like, what the fuck? Like what? Then we had Trick and Pete Dunne. This was just a fight. They went at it, and then after it was they went to the outside. They hit a Russian leg sweep on the barricade, and then they went off the barricade through the announce table, and then it ended up becoming a double countout.
Right.
Yeah. That's all the words you can say. Though I get it, but I hate these double countouts, but it's going to lead to something bigger, I guess. Jordan Grace will be having a TNA Knockouts World Championship Open Challenge next week on NXT. Javon Evans beats Joe Coffey. The young kid, he's bouncy. He got the win.
So, do you think he's going to be the one that eventually beats Ethan Page, or do you think Trick Williams is going to win it back?
I hope Trick Williams does not win it back. No shot at Trick Williams, but no, that's not he had his moment. Yeah, Javon Evans could be nice. I don't know who else really could unless maybe Obafemi would go after it at some point.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I'm not really sure. Speaking of Obafemi, he defeated Channing Lorenzo on this night. Jada Parker beat Jasmine Nix, and then your main event was Roxanne Perez coming out. You know, she said that she beat Jada. She's been handing out uh wins to defeats ever since she's arrived. She's second all time in PLE matches in NXT history, second all time in PLE wins. She said she's gonna smash all the records, and so then she called out Julia and said it doesn't matter if you're the hottest free agent from Japan trying to steal my shine. When all the smoke clears, it's going to be me holding my title. And then Chelsea Green came out.
That was
Uh,
random.
yeah, and she just started talking about everything. And she says, you know, she's going to become the new number one contender. Julia comes in. She comes to the ring again, looking like a million fucking bucks. Rocks Chelsea with a forearm, hits her with a big knee. Chelsea sold it like $1 million. Then Julia gets in Roxanne's face and says, "Me, you, CW," and that's how the show went off the air. Julia once again just doesn't have to do much and still looks like a fucking main eventer. And it was announced after this show that Julia will be wrestling next week on NXT against Chelsea Green. So we are going to see the in-ring return of Julia, or the in-ring debut of Julia next week.
Right.
So, all right. NXT was pretty decent. SmackDown. This was the very final NXT SmackDown show on Fox. From here on out, it's going to be back on USA. Cody Rhodes and Solo kicked off the show. You know, and Cody did a little bit of interesting thing because he said, you know, hey, he goes, you do deserve a championship match. He goes, but he says Jacob Fatu should get the title shot. But then Jacob just says, I acknowledge, you know. So the bloodline gets in, they all of them get in Cody's face. DIY and the Street Profits are all in the ring. Nick Aldis comes out and says, you know what? Fine. Next week, it's going to be Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship in a steel cage. Interesting. But that was really cool. That was I'm telling you, that was a little thing. I'm saying Jacob Fatu deserves a shot.
Yeah.
This bloodline's going to fall apart eventually. Like they're going to fall apart because I think Jacob Fatu's eventually going to want to move on and get that main event spot. So I kind of figured as soon as Fatu showed up, he was going to overshadow Solo.
Yeah.
And I think it's happening already. Bayley took on Tiffany Stratton. Decent match. Bayley was on a roll. The referee gets distracted by Nia. She was out there. Stratton tried to win it with a backslide, but then Bayley hit the Rose Plant, which is an awful finishing move, and gets the win. I just don't like the Rose Plant.
I don't either.
It's just drops her on her face. Like there's no.
It's basically the same move as LA Knight.
Yeah, except she uses her knee instead of her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a weird thing where it's Kevin ran into A-Town Down Under and they challenged him to a match and he says, yeah, we'll wrestle. Owens versus Waller or Theory. Yeah. He says there's going to be a triple threat. Giovanni Vinci made his in-ring debut and lost in 2 seconds.
Yeah, what the hell? What was this?
He comes out, he's taking off his jacket, he's taking forever, so the referee just said, fuck it, we're ringing the bell. And Apollo Crews hit a crucifix and pinned him.
What the hell, Ryan?
What in the world, man?
I don't understand that.
I didn't get it at all. I was completely, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not sure what the reasoning is here. Shock value, I guess. I don't know. It sucks because Giovanni Vinci's so good. Like, it sucks so bad. He is so good.
Yeah.
Then we had the Owens Theory Waller triple threat match. Obviously, this was a 2-on-1. Owens wins. He get the stunner after the match. Waller attacked Owens. Theory got into the ring. Theory delivered they down under, and then Waller hit a roll through flatliner thing, and so they ended up beating him up afterwards. And then it was announced that it's going to be Kevin Owens and a mystery partner versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller next week on USA.
Right.
LA Knight, Carmelo, and Andrade had a segment. Basically, Carmelo and Andrade both want the title, but they're still in the middle of their feud. So they're 2-2. I think they're going to wrestle next week for match 5. Chelsea Green beat Michin. Niven delivered a running senton on the floor, rolled Michin back into the ring. Green hit the unpretty her and gets the win.
So, do you think that talking about the match that before? Do you think that who do you think should get that US? Who do you think should get that US title shot?
Andrade.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Might be Carmelo.
Yeah, I could see it.
I could see Carmelo getting it, and they do Carmelo Knight.
Yeah.
Because Andrade's, he's the speed champion. He doesn't need the United States title.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
The main event of SmackDown was the Bloodline versus the Street Profits and DIY in an 8-man tag team match. This was chaotic everywhere. This was just ridiculous. I mean, all 8 men were just going crazy in this match.
Yeah.
And then also, Tonga Loa was there. The win came for the Bloodline. Fatu hit an avalanche on Ford. He hit the Impaler DDT. So Fatu did all the work. I mean, he came in, tagged himself in, super kick Gargano, hit a pop-up Samoan drop, super kick Dawkins. He did everything and then tagged in Solo Sikoa. And he hit 2 Samoan spikes to win. So once again, Jacob Fatu did everything in this match to win it at the end, and then Solo took all the credit. So I think that's another way of teasing, there's going to be deception and there's going to be something happening between these two eventually.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They did this already when they were trying to hint at it with Solo and Roman.
Yeah.
So we already kind of did this. So they got to do it somehow. They got to make it different.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
I don't know.
I think the way you do it is you have not just dissension, but you have Jacob Fatu be a face.
Yeah, I think Jacob the crowds, you could tell they already want to root for him.
Yeah.
It's they already won it. So he's so athletic and so good that it's hard to just it'd be easy for people to root for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what you do. Eventually, Jacob just turns on Solo, and then Jacob becomes a massive star. Hopefully. All right, some news. Io Sky moved on in the first round of the Speed Women's Championship tournament. Nathan, I know you were excited to hear this. I know you're keeping your eyes and tabs on X, watching this whole tournament.
Oh yeah.
But Io Sky beat Lyra Valkyria in the first round.
I feel like these matches they're not, what's that Star Wars term? Canon? Yeah, this ain't even canon.
Yeah, I don't think they actually matter. But
also in news, freaking Io Sky's tag team partner, she got fucking concussed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was very gnarly.
Yeah, Kyrie Sane her eye got cut open. She had to get stitches.
Yeah.
She hit the announce table, and so she went her face first to the announce table and cut herself open. So
it was gnarly. Who else re-signed, right?
So we mentioned Shayna Baszler. Apparently Nikki Cross has re-signed, and Cedric Alexander has re-signed as well.
Yeah, not sure about Cedric. Because he hasn't done anything like his whole career. Like he's always just been a guy. And he's so much better than that if they'd let him do anything. They just never
Yeah.
give him the opportunity.
Yeah.
So
It's weird.
if I'm him, why are you re-signing? You know, go make your name somewhere else. Come back and show them why they missed out.
Yeah.
Instead, you're just going back there and probably just going to be doing the same old thing.
Um, also reportedly, just came in like today. Uh, Sheamus has just re-signed as well, a multi-year contract.
Jesus Christ. I thought he was going to retire soon because of his neck,
Yeah.
and he just keeps going.
Yeah.
Crazy. That dude's a
Um,
machine.
also, reportedly there's going to be probably a Saturday night's main event. Apparently this new deal that they signed with USA Universal was for a couple at least Saturday night shows on NBC in primetime. Apparently it's gonna be 4. And so reportedly we're gonna have our first one coming this December. So the return of Saturday night's main event.
All right. More shit that we got to watch.
And then
Oh, what?
in crazy news, the first trailer drops for the Mr. McMahon docuseries on Netflix. Jesus, I don't know how shocking this is gonna be for wrestling fans because we've all heard stories of what he was like.
Yeah.
But this is still going to be, I think, must-watch stuff for anybody that is watched or is watching wrestling. And we won't go when it's coming out end of September. We're not going to go all in and watch, you know, talk about everything. But if something interesting does come out of it, we will obviously talk about it. But I don't
Right.
think we're going to go show by show and give our thoughts like a pay-per-view review on it or something.
No, because I think we've covered most of the Vince
Yeah.
McMahon shit.
But if anything new comes out in that thing, we will definitely give our thoughts about it.
All right.
And then Bret Hart's going to be on Raw this week. So
That's crazy.
it's in Canada.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, it's in Canada.
Last bit of news here, not really news, but a little interesting. So they're probably going to make these next 3 weeks pretty big because this is the only time that all 3 shows are going to be on USA for 3 weeks.
Yeah. All 3 shows are on one network. So I expect the next 3 weeks of WWE programming to be as big as possible. And then I expect the first couple weeks of the CW shows of NXT to be really good as well. So we could have some really good wrestling from WWE in the coming months in the next couple weeks because I think we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff happening. With everything being on one network, they're probably gonna try to go all out. So no pun intended with the AEW. All right. I think let's wrap this up, Nathan.
All right. So yeah, if you like this episode of WWE Speak, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can hear more episodes of WWE Speak, and hit the notification bell. You always know when we're going to upload another episode of WWE Speak, and we will see you next time for AEW Speak on Tuesday.
Yeah, the go home shows for all out. So we got the 3 shows heading into All Out, and then our All Out review will be Wednesday. So, all right.
All right.
See y'all in the next one.